Thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. So after a brilliant night's sleep in the van amongst some spectacular scenery, it was time to head even more north and to leave behind the mountains. First things first, however, coffee and breakfast. A full breakfast at that. Absolutely stunning. So, fueled up and raring to go, I arrived at my location for the evening, right at the very top of Scotland. Oh yes, we have had a chill out and a half, guys. So it is nice to come somewhere tonight for this evening's sunset. We'll get into that in a second, but it's nice to come somewhere that is just within 100 meters or so from the van. After what was yesterday's massive hike for me up Anchulloch. Oh man, I was done. I was shattered. My legs feel all right now actually, but only because I've had a good rest, and it's something that I'm trying to do more on these photography trips when I come out in the van. You know, usually I am all go, every sunrise, every sunset, which for the most part, I suppose is good. I'm a photographer, it's my job at the end of the day, but I feel like creatively, I work so much better when I can spread it out a little bit, you know, give myself some breaks, some rest. You've just seen me having a big, massive, fat, Scottish full breakfast in a cafe, things like that, man. Chilling out, taking some time away from the photography actually helps me out a lot, you know. It's a bit of a no-brainer, really. I'd say most people are like that. But I am looking forward to this evening, regardless of what happens with the light. Now, getting back onto the sunset, it's in about 2.5 hours. And I don't know, maybe I mentioned this before, but there's a huge band of rain hitting Britain, and we are on the true northern coast of the island of Britain. And it seems to be one of the only places that's not getting all this horrible rain. So here we are. But let me show you this. Nice and clear in the background there, blue skies. But then in this direction, which by the way, is where the sun is going to be setting, dark, moody. But it's good, you know, we'll work with it and we'll see what we can get. But I am just so delighted to be out on the coast. I'm feeling energetic, I'm feeling motivated. If you watch me regularly, you'll know, man, I love this type of photography where the waves are coming in. Quality. Let's go and explore. Oh yes, I have missed this. So let me pop the old Nikon Z7 view up on the screen. I just need to make sure it's in focus. There we go. Which button is it? There. So this is the composition. Mountains on the left-hand side. I've tried to balance everything out with that small little building there you can see on the right-hand side as well. This is an image that is all about shutter speed and timing, as it so often is on the coast. You know what, I'm loving this because it's so different. Obviously, I've not been on the coast since I've been in Scotland yet on this particular trip, so it feels brand new, it feels fresh. I love this type of photography, man. So we are zoomed in around about 140 millimeters to get this composition, and we've got the remote shutter on, as you can see there. And it's all about timing, like I said, waiting for the right wave to come in and then tapping that shutter button several times, you know, whatever it takes to make sure you capture that wave at exactly the right moment. I'm finding that around about 1/15 of a second is the best shutter speed here to get that mix of like a painterly look. But I'm also wanting to try and freeze the wave as they come in as well. There's some nice ones there, look. And I guess overall, I'm trying to get the energy across. You know, it's gone windy now, it's moody. The clouds are reinforcing that drama, that moodiness as well. So it all feels great at 1/15 of a second. So also f11, and then I think I've had to bump my ISO up slightly as well, so as I can get that 1/15 of a second. But yeah, it's an image that's all about the focal length to really compress the composition, compress the scene. Whoa, there's some nice ones, look at that. And it's also an image, like I said, that's about timing and shutter speed. Whoa, you beauty. See off in the distance, look, just that little section of like really white, vibrant sands there. Let me zoom in a bit. I don't really know what's going on there, but I'm trying to get to it. Now, as you can see here, I mean, it's justice really. There's me giving it the big one about there being no rain or anything in this part of Britain, and there it is. If I saw someone else giving it the big one like that, I'd be the first to say, there's your dinner, that's what you get. But it's nice, you know, it's so moody, man, and dramatic. You probably just seen I've been banging off a few more shots, trying to capture them waves. But yeah, let's go and see what this little bit of like kind of bright white looking sand has got to offer. We've got some nice like little mini sea stacks and rock formations for the foreground. Oh, it's unbelievable back there. Ladies and gents, let's crack on. Whoa, guys, you want to see this behind me. This is unreal. Oh, it's amazing. I'll tell you what it is. It's the colours. It's the different shades of blue. Let me put the focus on that background there. Oh, look at it. So dark in the background. And then as we come further in here, we've got that turquoise water that we so often get in northwest Scotland, Outer Hebrides, things like that. And then look, we've got all these little rock pools down here to play with and stuff. It is unbelievable. So, instead of rushing into just dumping my camera down and capturing this, what I'm going to do, as always, as I would anyway, is just try and wander around a little bit and try and construct a nice composition, something more pleasing. Basically, try not to be a headless chicken. Oh, and I've also got to try and make sure I don't put my big, massive welly boot footprints everywhere, because I might ruin a potential composition. You know what? I'm getting soaked, man. Didn't bring my waterproofs, what a wally. I'm ill content, I think, with any compositions that I've got. I've just tried my best to, you know, include the elements that I just spoke about. The white sand, maybe some of these rock pools, these dark rocks, the texture of them all, wonderful. The moodiness in the background, some of the waves that are breaking in the background. There's a lot going on. Maybe it's one of them where there's too much going on. But yeah, this particular shot I think might be pick of the bunch. I'll probably just show you whichever one's my favourite. But like I said, I'm not really too sure. 24mm, and look, it's happening now. As a wave comes in, like this, good job I got the old wellies on. Grab the shot there, and it's about 1/3 of a second. Is this dodgy or? No, we're all right. 1/3 of a second, and it kind of like smooths out that foreground as the water, you know, slowly creeps over all these little rocks. Oh man, this is class. Right, I've had enough. I don't like it anymore. We're in the middle of the ocean at this stage. So, yeah, don't think I'm happy with any of them. I'll show you my favourite, if any. we're back in the van. I've been here for a while. I've just given myself some time to dry off. I've just tried to film with my Nikon Z30 and I think it's all right. It's just a bit steamy, a bit of condensation. So he's going to have a little bit of a rest. I don't really have a plan now. I'm going to come back south, I think. Do you know what? This is proper like out of context. But I'm mad for a curry. I'm just mad for a curry. I'd say they're going to be horrendous up here. But I'm just going to find a curry house and have a curry. So I'll see you tomorrow morning, I suppose. Who knows where that's going to be? This is part of the adventure. Just don't know. You don't know. Even I don't know. Just got my book and my OS maps. And we'll see. Before we do, a big thank you to today's video sponsor, which is Squarespace. If you don't know who they are, they're an all-in-one platform where you can build your own website, which is exactly what I did. I was well scared to create or build my own website. Just intimidated by it, but you needn't be if you use Squarespace because it's so easy. There's lots of different templates on there, and this is all I did. You just get a template, change the images and text, obviously, and make it your own. You can literally have your website up and running within a matter of hours. Absolutely brilliant. I think it's just really good for us to have like a professional looking portfolio, you know, as photographers as well. It's a good place to send people, isn't it, when you've got a proper domain name. Plus the images just look better compared to like the naffness of Instagram and that sort of thing. And then, yeah, maybe down the line, somewhere down the line, you'd like to sell things like I do. I sell my ebooks, calendars, prints. I advertise my workshops all on my Squarespace website, things like that. So yeah, if you'd like to give them a go to squarespace.com/Henry Turner and be sure to use the offer code Henry Turner at checkout for 10% off your first purchase. Right, leave the Z30 to rest for a bit. I'm gonna go and get a curry. I've got my heart set on it. Absolute mad. I don't know what's going on there. And yeah, I suppose I'll see you in the morning. So I found a curry house. It was no Birmingham standard, but still did the job. And once again, it was time to park up for the night. So let me tell you this, we are somewhere completely different. We're on the North Sea. It's been a fair old drive. I had a good little park up last night. I've had a nice kip ready for this morning's sunrise shoot. This is a location that I've wanted to shoot for years. It's going to be instantly recognisable to a lot of photographers here, and secondly, conditions are looking all right, you know, all right. Alright guys, so we are set up nicely. So I made, well, probably one main mistake. I didn't really research the area very well. I proper thought that Fiddle Rocky was just in the middle of nowhere. It's not. There's a town like right behind us. It's quite populous. I don't know why. I think I've just always seen photographs of it and just assumed that it was in a really sort of isolated, lonely corner of coast. But it isn't. And secondly, it's not really a mistake, I knew this one, but it's quite a popular spot for photographers, so there's a few kicking about, a few further around. It's fine, it's just because I'm used to like shooting out on my own, and I think for me, oh, here we go, I will get to the composition in a minute, I promise. Yeah, I think for me, a big part of landscape photography is being out by yourself, you know, enjoying it. Right, so you can see we've got the wide angle lens on. Actually, all the other photographers were in probably like the standard location with the tripods, kind of like straight on at the rock, which was nice, really nice. I probably would have done it myself if there was no one else here. But because there were other people there, it kind of forced me to try and move around a bit, and I'm glad it's worked out really well. The tide's on its way in, so it's not great. It's a bit dodgy. I don't want to stay here for too long. But I've actually found this nice little channel and its quality, because this channel here is like sucking up the tide, or the waves really, as they come in. So all my job is remote shutter, and I'm just waiting for the right wave to hit down here. Look, see how it's just coming into that channel there? Here's one now, look. Just tapping the remote shutter like that. The only thing I'm not sure on, as always on the coast, is shutter speed. I'm trying different ones, half a second, quarter of a second, that sort of thing. I'm still a bit undecided. I think it needs to be a little bit longer. I'm going to try, let's go back to 1/2 of a second and see how we get on with that. But I don't know if I'm going to take any more shots from here. I don't know, but quite like the look of this one. So dodgy, man. I'm still here. Oh gosh. So I'm doing exactly the same shots. I'm having to hold on to the tripod now as these waves come in. It's not good. Would not recommend. Oh god. So you can see there, I'm just starting to get a touch of that morning sun on both Fiddle Rock itself. So I think it's improved. I've actually turned it, you can see there, into a landscape orientation, just to try something different, you know. I feel like the portrait shots were maybe a bit more like blue houry, you know, a bit pre-sunrise, whereas now it's a completely different shot altogether because of the light. So still at 14mm, incorporating some of these cliffs here on the right hand side as well. See how they lead out as well, look. And then I've just got both Fiddle Rock bang in the centre, and still playing around with shutter speeds, man. I don't really know what to tell you. 1/3 of a second I'm shooting at the minute, but I've tried some about 1/6, a little bit quicker. I'm finding the increments, you know, the stops, the tiny different shutter speeds are making such a big difference. You know, it's not like I'm going down to 4 seconds or anything like that. So yeah, it's very much a case of a lot of trial and error, but same concept with the foreground. But I think this is going to be nice with a little bit of light on both of the rock, and it's very much about trying to capture the power of these waves and this little channel in the foreground. So fingers crossed I managed to do that, but this is lovely just to be around. Another thing as well, I don't know if I'm going to try it, but there's a load of birds flying about the gaff, so I might try one at a proper quick shutter speed as well, and then blend them birds in. I don't know, maybe, we'll see. Oh gosh, right, I need to get out of here now. Whoa. So I was going to I'm off now, I promise you, I nearly got stuck. I had to do some rock climbing to get off, it was dodgy. Wally, do not copy daft things that I do, especially on the coast. I should know, man, I've always lived on the coast. I was going to take a shot from higher up, see all these cliffs around us. You know, something a bit different. But I don't like the sky and the light's too harsh on the bottom bow Fiddle Rock now. I'm not a fan, and I think I'm happy with what I've got, so that's it. I don't want to overdo it. Yeah, that ain't going to do out for me. So, that's it. It's a Scottish trip done. I'm going home. That's, in a way, sort of why I came here, was because it was kind of ish on the way home. Not really. But anyway, it's been an absolute blast, hasn't it? And thank you so much for joining me, especially if you've stayed for all episodes, you know. probably my best, well, definitely my best photography trip ever. The conditions have been sublime. So thank you so much for your support. I suppose this video will be around Christmas and New Year, so Merry Christmas or Happy New Year, whichever one fits. And I'll see you on the next adventure. Out.